This evening I'm out for just a walk. I've got the camera with me. Well, obviously I wouldn't be making the video otherwise, would I? But tonight I think an exercise in simple photography. Nothing expected to be complicated about it. I mean, you look the direction I'm travelling in. Just a road, some fields, and what you might say, not a great deal to photograph. But I've already found one or two things. Admittedly, not so much in the fields, but I've come from the village there, walked past a chalet park and got a shot from that, so I'll show you that in a minute. I'll explain what it is about that shot that really kind of just got me itchy face. Yeah, I'm just out walking on a relatively quiet back road that I drive down every now and again, or actually probably quite often, because I prefer this road to using the main roads to get from village to village around here. Never walked it before though. So what do I mean by simple photography? You're looking at it. It's finding something that's visually striking, something that I've spoken about this before, something that interrupts a view, so to speak. So we've got this electricity pole here. We've got a bit of formality in this shot. We've got this demarcation between the two fields. We've got probably a barley crop here and a wheat crop there, or vice versa. People have told me what these are before. I don't remember. Whatever they are, we have this pole in the middle intersecting. Not only that, we've also got these lines here following exactly the line of this field, which is really rather nice. And we've got the other two lines branching off in different directions, and there's quite an interesting shot out of it. And what I'm managing to do, I've taken a few steps forward because I was back there. I've got the corner right down here, coming in right at the corner of the frame, and yeah, it kind of works. I'm going to try it with a polarizer. K&F sent me this magnetic set a few weeks ago, and I've used it once or twice already. You've probably already seen it in a video or two. It's got a nice little case with it. There's a couple of NDs in here and this polarizer, and what you can hear rattling in my pocket is the magnetic lens cap for it. It's a bit late in the day, so it's not having the biggest effect, but it is adding a level of detail in the cloud that isn't necessarily there without it. Not sure I like it, I've got to be honest, but it's kind of there and might be a better shot. Not sure. Simple photography. So this simple image really relies on the colour contrast. You've got the yellows, the greens and the blues. But I think it works just as well as a black and white image, because now we're working on textures. Now something's been on my mind a little bit over the last few days. There was a comment left on, I think it must have been the video when I was walking around the light industrial estate, and the comment was something along the lines of, yeah, but you wouldn't print it and put it on your wall, would you? And it's like, well, you know what? Yeah, I probably would, so long as it was in the right setting. I think the sentiment was very much, why would you bother shooting it if you wouldn't hang it on your wall? That's how I took it anyway. And I kind of take issue with sentiments like that, or kind of thought processes like that, You'd never shoot a damn thing if your only motivation was finding something to hang on your wall, would you? It's such a narrow reason for shooting, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those things that really kind of bugs me. Nobody ever finishes photography. You're always learning. You're always being able to take another photograph, and even if it's a photograph of something that you've photographed before, it will be a different photograph because the conditions will be different. Your position's going to be different. You might improve on it, you might not improve on previous work, but the point is that you're giving it a bloody go. It's, I don't know, it got bee in my bonnet over it. There's just something wrong with this idea that if you're not going to hang it on your wall, why bother? And indeed, who is to say they're not going to hang on a wall? It might not be their choice, but my choice might be entirely different. If I've got a gallery, some of those shots would go on a wall in the gallery quite happily, in my mind. If, as an example, I owned one of those buildings, or the building owner owned one of those buildings and then renovated it, you've got a before and after shot to hang in reception. You've got, you've got book contents there, haven't you? You've got a zine contents there, or an entire book, light industrial areas of East Anglia. I mean, there's 200 pages in that. If your whole idea of, if your whole reason for shooting is, well, I hang it on the wall, unless you got very, very low standards, you'd never shoot anything again. Am I going to shoot this? No, I'm not. No, it's too complicated for this evening. There's a simple shot that I'm looking at at the moment, but I don't fancy taking it. It requires me to get the telephoto one, and I don't fancy swapping right now because I'm not sure the shot's worth it. It's looking straight, well, not into the sun, but so I'm looking at the shot right now. It's behind you, and the sun is up there. So this time of day, or any time of day when you're looking into the sun, you're not getting much blue sky. It's a bit of cloud definition. So yeah, we've got you can see there it's just white, and if we turn that way, it's rather bluer. But what we got is some power lines again, with a number of pigeons sat on them, and it's just simple. It's quite graphic, but I think what I really want to do is I want to get on that side of them, so I'm shooting in this direction. So that might work, it might not. See what happens when I get up the brow of the hill.
But when I made my way up there, I wasn't impressed by the view. It was just, well, it wasn't simple photography, it was just too confusing. So I carried on walking and I found a barn. Now, I thought this was simple photography at the time. On reflection, I'm not so sure. I'm pleased I took the shot, but it took quite a lot of effort in post-production to get what this is now. I think it was probably worth taking. It's not the simple photography that I was aiming for this evening, but sometimes, yeah, our brief slips.
So this is the old railway cutting that was the Cromer line, the North Walsham to Cromer line, and there's a number of these bridges along here. I imagine most of them are filled in now. Most of the stations, I think, have gone. There is a complete station still at Overstrand, which is a house, and platforms and everything are there, including the access tunnels. Beautiful, but private property. Are there any shots here? Maybe I was wondering if there was something that I could possibly do with, something kind of sticking out of these engineering bricks here. But when I say no, there isn't. I haven't framed anything up, so perhaps there is. We've got some ivy there, and again, colour contrast. I don't know whether the camera's picking it up. Something possibly there.
Now you can't get a lot more simple than this, surely. It's really just colour contrast. It works really well.
And there's a really simple shot here as well. It's all about colour and light hitting the building over there. Beautiful summer sun setting behind us. Heading down there, you can see the shadows getting nice and long. Still very warm. It's everything that if you were going to go to photography school or read a book about composition, it's everything that they will effectively say don't do. But it works sometimes. You've got horizon straight for the middle. You've got a shot of two halves and nothing much in each, but right on that horizon line we've got the interruption, we've got that focal point. Your eye is drawn immediately to that focal point, and just the sense of isolation that images like this give. I know where that house is. It's on the main road. It is kind of isolated. There's a garage, a repair shop next to it, but just here, it just looks to all intents and purposes that it's the only thing for miles, and that's what the photograph conveys.
It's all too easy to create images that are too complicated. You'll surely be aware of the phrase less is more. But I think it's also too easy to go a little bit too hard on the less bit. Hitting that balance, I think, is the important part. Here's the shot that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's simple in its composition, isn't it? There's just two buildings funneling a view down to nothing much. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that just works for me on this. I hope you found the video interesting and useful. If you have, please click that like button. If you'd really like to support me, perhaps you can subscribe or go even further and, hey, use one of the affiliate links down below. You could even join the channel. Members of the channel get at least one video extra per week that normal mortals won't see. Cheers, thanks for watching.